Hey, what's up guys? CombatCritique here. In this video, I want to give my pick for this upcoming bare knuckle boxing fight between the underground king Eddie Alvarez and Chad Mendes. So let's get started. If we talk about the physical stats of these two fighters, Eddie Alvarez is 5 feet 9 inches tall and Chad Mendes is 5 feet 6 inches. So 3-inch height advantage for the underground king. Weight. So Eddie Alvarez fought in the UFC at lightweight. So he is a 155 pounder, whereas Chad Mendes fought in the UFC at featherweight. So he is the smaller fighter. And on the day of the fight, you can expect Eddie Alvarez will be much bigger than Chad Mendes. If we talk about the reach, it is 69 inches for Eddie Alvarez and 66 inches for Chad Mendes. So again, a 3-inch reach advantage as well for Eddie. Stance, if we talk about the stance, both these guys are orthodox stance fighters. And if we talk about the age, so both of them are nearing their 40s. I believe Eddie is 39 and Chad is 1 year younger. He is 38, but both of them are pretty old and they are not competing in MMA. They have switched on to, Chad Mendes has switched on to bare knuckle, and this is the debut of the Underground King on BKFC. If we talk about the career UFC career statistics of these two guys, so keep in mind these statistics, which are the takedowns and submissions. These are not really relevant because this is a boxing fight, so takedowns are not allowed, submissions are not there. So these, just ignore these. I got these stats from the UFC website, so they have all the stats of these two guys in their fights in the UFC. Now, if we talk about the strikes landed per minute, first of all, this signifies the number of significant strikes that you land on your opponent per minute on average. That is 4.32 for Eddie Alvarez and 2.78 for Chad Mendes. So Eddie is the busier fighter on the feet. He is able to land more strikes. He will have an advantage. Striking accuracy is 41% for Eddie Alvarez and 49% for Chad Mendes. So in this case, Chad Mendes is more accurate. He will have an advantage. Strikes absorbed per minute. This signifies the number of significant strikes that you absorb from your opponent per minute. On average, that is 4.39 for Eddie Alvarez and 2.35 for Chad Mendes. So in this case, the smaller number is actually better because you are absorbing less number of strikes. So in this case, advantage goes to Chad Mendes. He absorbs less number of strikes. He gets hit a lot less than Eddie Alvarez. And if we talk about the striking defense, that is 55% for Eddie Alvarez and 67% for Chad Mendes. So again, he will have a huge advantage in this department as well. I think this is because Chad Mendes is a wrestler, and in the UFC, whenever he is getting, tagged on the feet, he shoots for a takedown and stalls the fight. So keep in mind that these are not really accurate in a boxing scenario. These stats were taken from the UFC fight, and takedowns, etc., are a big part of Chad Mendes' game. So because of that, I think he has better numbers. However, if we talk about the prior experience, so Chad Mendes has experience in the BKFC, whereas Eddie Alvarez is new to this. So in the only fight that he has had in BKFC, he won via knockout, and this was against Joshua Alvarez back in 2022 of February, so last year, and he won via TKO in the 4th round. So this man has a lot of power, and in recent years, so he last competed in the UFC in 2018, and from that time, he has been preparing for something. Then last year it was announced that this man will fight Joshua Alvarez in BKFC. He has gained a lot of size, he has gained a lot of muscle, and I don't think he is a lightweight even now. He is probably a welterweight. So this man has the power and the experience in BKFC, whereas Eddie Alvarez, even though he is the underground king, and I'm sure he has had a lot of bare knuckle fights back in the day, in underground arenas, but still, I don't think he has the kind of experience in BKFC that Chad Mendes has. And because of these reasons, if I have to pick a winner, I'm going to pick Chad Mendes. I think he will get it done via a KO. I believe he is not natural. I think he is on steroids, and that really increases his power. Also, keep in mind that the rounds are only 2 minutes in bare knuckle boxing, so there is less of an issue of gassing out in the fight, which means Chad Mendes can, come fully beefed up and steamroll Eddie Alvarez. This man is not natural, very likely he's not natural. If you see him on Instagram, some of his recent training footage, he has gained 10-15 pounds of muscle easily. I don't think that is possible at his age naturally, so he is not natural. That plays into my prediction. Also, he has experience in bare knuckle. Eddie Alvarez last fought in the UFC back in 2021, so he was competing in mixed martial arts, whereas Chad Mendes last competed against, I believe, Alexander Volkanovski back in 2018. He took a long break. I think he has trained his boxing in the meantime. Also, he has done a lot of steroids. For these reasons, I am picking Chad Mendes. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video.